Hey there, welcome to the Seacoast Church Dream Team. We are so excited to have you as part of our Dream Team family here at the church. Now at Seacoast, our mission is to help people find God, grow their faith, discover their purpose, and make a difference. Being a part of the Guest Services Dream Team family, you'll be able to see all of those things come together. Now my name is Brad Brandon, and I lead the guest services here at the Columbia campus. As part of guest services, our motto is that it's all about the one. And what we mean when we say that is that as volunteers in guest services, our goal is to significantly impact one person's life each and every Sunday. And we feel like that if we each invest in someone's life, get to know their name and a little bit about them and kind of what brought them here to the church, that we can each make a connection with one person each week, and over a period of time, everybody in the church will feel a part of our Seacoast family. And so when we say it's all about the one, that's our goal each week, is to significantly impact one person's life. Now, within guest services, kind of our vision and what we're going for comes out of a book written by Nelson Searcy. In it, he says that within the first 7 minutes of a new person coming to a church, they make a decision of whether they're going to come back to the church or not. And many times that's even before the first song has been sung. And it's definitely before the first message has been preached. That person, that new person, has already decided whether to come back or not. And so for us at Guest Services, that's the value, that's the impact, the difference that we can make each and every Sunday, is to help people feel connected, to feel part of Seacoast Church, that they're welcomed here before the service even begins. And with that, man, the greater chance that they'll come back and join us and eventually be part of our church family. So today, we're going to focus on the coffee ministry. If you signed up to be a part of our coffee team, thank you so much for being an integral part of what we do here at Seacoast Church. And again, just like we said, it's all about the one. And so for a new person that's coming to the church, it's kind of nervous or anxious about meeting people and different things like that. And what a huge opportunity it is for us to have fresh, brewed, hot coffee waiting right outside of our front doors for them when they come to Seacoast. And that just pushes away any nerves, that just washes away anxiety, and that allows them to feel comfortable with something that most Americans do almost every day, and that's to have a cup of coffee as they start their day. So it's such a significant part of what we do here at Seacoast to offer coffee for all of our first-time guests and regular attendees. So now, let's jump into kind of some of the nuts and bolts, some of the tips about being a coffee team volunteer. One of the first and most important things is to show up on time. I can't tell you, man, coming late to brew coffee, there is no rushing the process. This brewer takes the same amount of time every Sunday, regardless if you come early or late. So if you come late, it's a missed opportunity to be able to have coffee out front before our first service for all of our first-time guests and regular attendees. And that's not something that we want. We want to be able to have a great first impression, because we only get one first impression, so we want to make the best one possible. And having that coffee ready to go before service is such an important part of doing that. So we ask all of our coffee volunteers to get here about an hour and 20 minutes before the first service. That'll give you plenty of time to brew all the coffee, to go ahead and get it set up out front, and then to have everything ready to go about 20 or so minutes before the service. And so that's kind of what the goal is to be here an hour and 20 minutes before service, and then to have everything set up and ready to go at least 20 minutes before the service begins. So let's kind of jump into some of the different ways that we can do that. And if at any time you feel like, man, you didn't take notes or you forgot what we talked about, over here on our cabinet next to the coffee machine, I've got the directions printed out. Coffee setup and then ultimately coffee breakdown. And so that'll kind of give you some refreshers. So just feel free to be able to watch and enjoy and kind of see how everything works. So one of the first things it says to do is turn on both switches on the back left and right side of the coffee machine. And so right here on the back, there's a switch that goes up and down. There's another one here on this side that goes up and down. And so we'll want to turn both of those on. That'll start to heat up the water that's in the back of the tank. Then we go ahead and turn on the red switches on front that say on. The light comes on. And then it takes probably, I don't know, about 10 or so minutes for the water to heat up. And then when it's ready, this green ready light will come on. And so that's when you'll know that you're ready to hit the start button and coffee will go. So before you hit the start button, we've also got to put our grounds in there. So in the drawer next to the coffee, it says coffee bags on the drawer. You grab one of the filters that's in here. So you grab the filter, you just kind of put it in so it's just kind of in the middle. And then we've got little individual bags of coffee. And so what you'll want to do is you'll want to cut the tops off of those, and then you want to put 2 bags in each of the different gray pots. And so you'll put 2 there, you'll do a filter and 2 more bags there, and then you're ready to hit the start button when the green light comes on. And so that'll be what we call your first cycle. Now each set of grounds can give you 2 cycles before you have to change out the grounds. And so again, the first cycle you go, it drips, it fills up this pot. The second cycle, you do it again, and it fills up the pot more. And then after the second cycle, then you go and you rechange the filters, you put new grounds in, and you do that again. And so ultimately it's going to take 6 cycles in order to fill up our coffee here at the church right now. And so that's why we give ourselves about 45 minutes to an hour in order to brew all of the coffee, because there's quite a few cycles that have to go. So yeah, we ultimately go ahead and fill this, and then we've got some black carafes that we end up using in order to put the coffee in, and that keeps it nice and hot. And so as the coffee is brewing, the other things that you want to be considering is on our coffee cart, we have all the different supplies on the cart. And so as the brewing is taking place, you want to go ahead and make sure you've got everything that you need on the cart, so that when you go out front to set it up, you're good to go. And so we've got sugar, we've got some Sweet and Low, we've got some Equal with Splenda, we've got creamer. You definitely want at least 2 cups of probably 3 cups of creamer, because that and sugar are the most popular. We've also got our stirrers, and then on the cart as well, we have our lids, we have napkins, and then of course cups. Can't go too far without the cups. You can see cups. So you'll want to make sure that everything is stacked up on the cart. We've got 2 sets of each one that will be all a part of our front setup. And so you'll want to go ahead and take care of everything on the cart in between doing the cycle for the brewing. Now when all the brewing gets done, what you want to do is then take one of the black carafes, and we actually leave that back here in the cafe on our kitchen counter. And so we've got separate supplies that you'll want to make sure to refill here. So we've got one station back here in the back in the cafe, and then we've got our main station out there at the front. And so you'll want to make sure to have all the supplies done in the back with one of the black carafes, and then the other black carafe, and then the other station, the other supplies here on our coffee cart go out front. And so that's kind of what it looks like. Also here in the back, we have special flavored creamers that are here in the refrigerator. You just want to grab those each Sunday and put them out on the kitchen counter. And so that stays back here in the cafe. The front just gets the regular supplies, no flavored creamers out front. That's just here in the back. So that's kind of what it looks like here in the kitchen. At the end of the day, when everything is done, what you'll want to do is come back out here. You'll want to wash out all your supplies. You'll want to make sure to turn off all of your on switches, clean out the silver pot that you use to brew, and then you clean out the black carafes as well. and then restock everything on the coffee cart for the next person. So that's kind of what it looks like. So everything that you used in the beginning, you go ahead and then you clean it all up at the end, and that's kind of what it looks like at the end of the day. So that's kind of what it is for here in the kitchen. Now we're going to jump back over to see what the front setup looks like, to give you an idea of what that's going to be like. So check it out. So now we're back here at the coffee bar. We're out front of the church. I know right now I'm in the lobby, but this will be outside, out front under one of the pop-up tents that we have with the coffee sign. So this will be out front, so just imagine that. So what we're going to do is we're going to add all of our coffee supplies up here, but there is a little bit of a science to it. So we start off with our black carafe. So that's what we filled up back in the back. So we go ahead and put that there. We always want to put one of the little drip things underneath it. So we'll put that, the coffee thing, carafe goes in the center. Then we want to go ahead and grab all of our cups, and we want to put those next to the carafe. The reasoning behind putting them next to the carafe is that it's really windy here in Columbia. And so if we leave the cups out here, what ends up happening is they get knocked over and the cups start blowing around, and you got cups in the parking lot, and that's just not the look that we're going for, just having all of our coffee supplies flying over everywhere. So we put those next to it, and the carafe kind of acts as a windshield for that. Then we've got all of our supplies, which we've refilled. We put that on either side of our cups, and then next to that we can grab our lids, so we can put those next to the supplies, and then we've got our napkins, and so those can be refilled. They've got little doors that they open and close so that the napkins don't blow around everywhere, and so those kind of make good placeholders there at the end. And then normally you've got the stirs, you've got those just right there next to the lids. And so that's kind of what it looks like. And so it's identical on either side of the other. So we've got the carafe in the middle, the cups on either side, supplies, and then we've got the lids, the stirs, and the napkins. And that's kind of what it looks like. So that's the setup we want to do outside on Sunday mornings. Great opportunity to do that. In between services, what you'll want to do is go out front and check and make sure that all the supplies are still stocked up. Sometimes, a lot of creamer will be missing, or will be out of sugar or sweet and low or something. So you'll want to restock it in between services to make sure those coming to the second service still have all the coffee supplies that they need. And then also, if there is any trash, or sometimes people will rip the sugar packets and leave trash just sitting here. Even though we've got garbage cans out front, they don't put the trash away, and so we'll just want to clean up that coffee bar, take any trash off of it, and put them in the garbage can so it looks nice for the people coming in for the second service. So that's kind of what it looks like at the end of the second service. Feel free to go ahead and take all this down, put it back on the cart, and take it back in. Someone else will move the coffee bar at the end of the day, so don't worry about moving that, but just take all the coffee supplies and then go back and clean it, and that'll make it a wrap. And so hope that you've enjoyed this coffee training. Thank you again so much for being a part of our Dream Team family. Again, you are helping bring down walls for people that are nervous and anxious and sometimes fearful, even checking out a church for the first time. So that cup of joe, that cup of coffee is going to be huge in helping them just be open to connecting with others, introducing themselves, and feeling a part of our Seacoast family. So we can't say thank you enough for helping volunteer and be a part of our coffee team. God bless you. Have a great day.